from Cleveland, Ohio. And you're listening to Barbecue Central.
Start the game! Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Good evening and welcome to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show.
Ooh, this is nice!
This is the show that talks about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling. This show originates from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, Bomb City, USA, Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evening's live fire fun and frivolity show. If you would like to get in contact with the show this evening, or you would like to follow the show during off-show hours, here's how you do all that.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Follow us on all the social media channels at BBQ Central Show. And be sure to subscribe to the show podcast feed on your favorite podcast platform.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you get the newsletter. Much like June shaped up, July shaping up in a similar fashion. 14 past the first hour as we kick off the second half of the year, 2025, rapidly coming to a close. Our pal Malcom Reed. Indeed. After Malcom, I have an open segment. I have some summatory thoughts on a few items that have transacted here over the last couple weeks. Also, I have some emails to get to, so we'll answer those as well. And then we'll move to the second hour, where we will find the normal first Tuesday of the month in the second hour guest. Author, cooking class instructor, celebrity, you name it, he's in it. YouTube sensation. By the way, both guests, YouTube media mavens. But in the second hour, I'm talking about our pal Sam, the cooking guy. So today is a special day for Sam and a bunch of other people. I'll tease it in that way. Keeping with the special day for some of these folks, I have gone out of my way to prepare something extremely special, something that I don't normally do, especially in public, especially in a recorded sense. I did do it for a period of time. I got away from it. We're going to circle back around here on the first Tuesday of July. Bring it back because Sam, special to me, so I want to show how special he is to me by putting my best foot forward with this special presentation that I have for him in the second hour. And then we will be talking about food dishes. He was out of the country last month. We were supposed to talk about that. We said we would couch it until July. Also, we were going to talk about, I don't remember if we were going to recap my Bahamas trip in July as well, since we had pre-recorded everything both with Malcom and Sam. So, I mean, who knows, right? I have an outline, an agenda, if you will. Do we get to it? I don't know. But I do have something set, so that's how the show's laying out. We'll tie a bow up, and then we'll get out here. So Malcom Reed, first hour, and Sam, the cooking guy, the second hour. What I'm thinking is maybe once a quarter, we do the Malcom and Sam Power Hour, where we take Sam from the second hour and put him into the first hour along with Malcom, and now we got two heavyweights. Holy moly. There's a good chance we could break the internet if we did something like that, but I will reach out to each party's contacts, see if that's something we might be able to put together once a quarter. I mean, how fun would that be? I don't know. Maybe it would be no fun at all, but you know me, I love taking risks with the show. So anyway, that's how the show is laying out tonight. Don't forget you can follow me socially, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, all with the handle at BBQ Central Show. We say good evening to those of you tonight watching through one of our video streaming platforms. Of course, you could go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show and watch, or you can go over to YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. And we have a new YouTube poll question of the week, and spawned off of the argument from last week, last week's and month's embedded correspondent. I'm asking everybody, including all guests, this: do you like the term Pitmaster? And currently 71% of you are saying yes, you do like the term Pitmaster. Started at 100%, wormed its way all the way back to a 65 before it sprouted back up to a 71 at this point, which means 29% of you are along with me. No, I don't like it. I said as much last week. I thought I made a tremendous case on why I didn't like it. Also, why I don't really like the term chef. Also, why I think if you're using the term Pitmaster, you have to allow those cooks who prefer cooking on pellet cookers. The minute you start to discriminate on a term or classify on a term that has no measurable way of classification, as I pointed out last week, it becomes very weird. I would rather drop the term altogether. That's me. We'll ask Malcom here in a minute. Results of the poll question from last week: have you followed a band around the country before? And 85% of you said no. I'm surprised 15% of you said yes. I have to imagine we're all around the same age or older. So what band are you following around the country if you're 50 plus years old, or let's even say mid-40s and above? What band are you following around? Is it the Grateful Dead? I never got into them. I don't know when they were popular. I don't know when they fell off the face of the earth. I know John Mayer is fronting something akin to the Grateful Dead. That's right in his wheelhouse for jam band stuff. Anyway, that's where it laid out last week. So we'll start here tonight. And the good news is this: there does appear to be a number of you that had no idea that there was something called a competition barbecue box available on the market right now. And through the emails that I got, there was a common theme, something along the lines of, hey, I don't compete, but could I still get a competition barbecue box? And of course, the answer is yes. Who's turning away business? But what's better than getting a box of high quality meat that comes ready to cook in a competition setting? Or if you are someone who's not interested in doing the competition thing, but you would like to cook competition quality meat that is also professionally trimmed once in your life, this is the way to do it. Nothing better than that. How about this? You're throwing a party for some of your barbecue fan friends. Now you can offer a wide variety of different eats for everyone to sample. The ribs, the chicken, the brisket, the pork collar. How many places are kicking around the pork collar specifically to be able to show off in that way? I think the bottom line is this: if you're a competitor and you have had it with trimming the week leading into a contest, and you haven't tried Mr. Brisket's competition barbecue box, it's got to be worth trying to save labor hours at a minimum. Also, if you are a backyard hack like me and you want to try what the comp guys do weekend in and weekend out, but you don't have the knife skills to perform said trimmings and preparation, this box is definitely for you because it's coming competition trimmed by a competitor, a former or a formidable competitor as well, at least here regionally in Aaron Huntelman. So if you want to try and see what the hype is all about, and you just found out about it last week, this box is for you. I mean, any 3 scenarios that I've just painted for you, the competition box is for you. If you're just somebody that wants a great brisket and racks of ribs and chicken and really good pork, and you don't want to source it individually as a 4th scenario, there you go. By the way, if you're like our pal Doug Scheiding and you have OCD tendencies, get the box untrimmed and do it yourself. The payoff being that you don't have to go around the different stores or scour the internet, for that matter, to get the meat to your house. Shows up, it's all trimmed, it's ready to go. Unless you're Doug. Doug admitted last week on the show, if that box shows up to his house trimmed, he's taking everything out. He's possibly re-trimming or touching up what he feels was not good enough. It's won in competition. It's won categories. I believe it's won grand championships with people using it, and will be available at the American Royal, as Aaron said last week. Just tick your ticket off. Chairs, check. Ice, check. Competition box for Mr. Brisket, check. Easy stuff. Anyway, you try it out and let me know. And then don't forget about those untrimmed chicken thighs I told you about last week as well. If you missed it, go back and listen to the show. All right, Malcolm Reed is ready to go. If you are serious about your grilling game, then you need to check out the latest from Pits and Spits. Why not kick things off with the Pits and Spits griddle? Great idea. Let's do it. Gas griddle combines the power of a traditional grill with the versatility of a flat-top griddle. Engineered with precision, crafted from top-quality materials, this versatile griddle is set to revolutionize your outdoor cooking experience. Constructed of 304 marine-grade stainless steel, a fully welded design, the griddle comes with 4 burners to accurately manage your heat zones and get blistering hot with 80,000 BTUs. Made with the Pits and Spits signature quality, it's a griddle that is designed to last for generations. Now, for those of you building your ultimate outdoor kitchen, you have to check out the built-in pellet grill, designed for the discerning grill masters who demand top-tier performance. This grill, the centerpiece of any serious outdoor kitchen. From low and slow smoking to high heat searing, this grill can handle it all. Brisket, ribs, pizzas, veggies, you name it. This grill can cook it. With the Pits and Spits legendary craftsmanship, you can be confident it's built to last. Stainless steel construction, a design that's as reliable as it is versatile. So, are you ready to take your cooking to the next level? Head on over to the website, pitsandspits.com/BBQ Central. That's pitsandspits.com/BBQ Central. Or go to the website, go to the homepage, go down to the sponsors, and then click on the Pits and Spits logo. It'll take you right there. And then use promo code BBQ Central for a free spice pack with orders over $500. Here's what I can guarantee you. If you order the built-in pellet grill and or the Pits and Spits griddle, well over $500. So make sure you put that code in, BBQ Central, at checkout, and you will get that free spice pack shipped along with all those great cookers. All right, let's check in with Malcolm Reed. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Fireboard, makers of Fireboard 2, Fireboard Pro, Fireboard Spark, Fireboard Beacon, and the wireless Fireboard Pulse. Did you know that when you use the Fireboard app and you are connected to your local area network, you now have total access to all devices connected anywhere in the world? It's true. Find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call 816-945-2232. My next guest tonight hosts the ever-popular How to Barbecue Right YouTube channel. And as of June 29th, 1.85 million YouTube subscribers worldwide, and a monthly guest here on the show. We welcome back our pal Malcom Reed to the show. Hey, Malcolm.
What's happening, Greg?
I am.
How's it going, man? I'm doing fine.
I am excited to talk to you. I have obviously a follow-up question that I'm going to be asking here in a second. But before we do that, we have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests. Do you like the term Pitmaster? Yes or no?
No.
Nope.
I do not.
Would you like to drop it from the lexicon, or would you like to rename it?
I think you got to rename it. I don't really have a good one, but I just think, you don't ever master it. There's no mastering it. You can get pretty good at it, but I don't know if you can be a master.
I always thought barbecue cook was a good one.
Yeah.
And then
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Why do we always have to press the levels up and up? And he's an outdoor cook, or he's a pitmaster. We had a big argument last week, and I said, well, how does one define pitmaster? What are the rules of engagement? If you go to, then we got into a big discussion about what do you think about the term chef? And I said, well, to me, a chef is somebody that has probably went to culinary school and done that work and earned that degree to be called chef. Then there were a lot of dissenters on the dais saying, well, what if you were a cook, a line cook for 10 years, and you've worked your way up the rank, and now you've earned the title of chef? Or are you not allowed to be called chef? Any thoughts on chef, Malcolm?
I mean, I was kind of thinking the same thing. A chef is somebody that went to culinary school and actually earned that title. Now, I mean, who's to say you can't work your way up to it and earn it that way too, but you're putting in time. And I guess that's kind of what makes you a pitmaster, I think, just putting in the time at a pit. Being able to cook just about anything over open fire or smoke or whatever it takes, putting in that time.
One of the things that really pissed me off last week was Matt from Tennessee was trying to sell me on why the term pitmaster was good. But then when I turned him around and said, well, what do you think about somebody cooking on a pellet cooker? Then they can be a pitmaster. He immediately disqualified it. Said, no, that's not a real pit, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, this is where it gets very murky for me, because now we're disqualifying a whole sect of cooks that might only want to deal with pellet cookers.
Exactly. I mean, I think you got to be able to cook on them all if you want to be a pit master, you got to be able to cook on anything, whether it's pellet grill, Weber kettle, giant smoker, whatever it is, hole in the ground, an actual pit. How about that?
Yeah. Have you seen I don't even know if resurgence is right. Have you seen a small groundswell of posts that are showing the Weber Ranch kettle more than ever before in the last 5 or 6 years?
I have, yeah. And I don't, it's been around forever. And that's a grill I've wanted for a long time. I just never broke down and spent that much money for one. But I've been seeing a lot more of it. Maybe they're trying to push them. The one I've really been seeing is this American flag one they've got for $100 at Walmart or whatever. That's the one that I'm looking at one right now. Shell bought me one.
So what I'm asking you tonight is, you sound studio quality, number one, but from a visual standpoint, for those that are watching, this isn't the normal Malcom Reed podcast setup that we would find you in monthly. So where are we finding you? And rumor has it you might be doing a little Marty Bird on us.
I don't know about that. But no, the sound quality, that all comes from you, man. I bought the setup that you sent me for a remote, and I've been using it when I do remote podcasts, and it's fantastic. But no, we've been over in Arkansas for about a week. We've been working on a property over here that we built on the banks of the White River. We enjoy coming over here. It's up in the mountains in the Ozarks over here, a place called Mount Olive, and it's real remote. And man, it's a good place to hide out for a little bit, catch some trout.
Is that a place that you've known about or that you would visit as a kid? Like, how do you decide here?
Yeah. So my friends at Townsend Spice and Supply, they make a lot of seasons for a lot of people out there. They actually are in a town called Melbourne, which is just away from this mountain about 30 minutes, and that's where they're from. So we started coming over here cooking their contest. They've had a couple different contests over here, and we were supporting them. And they make some of the spices for me, my Malcom's line of stuff. And we just became really good friends. And they was like, we come over here and we rented cabins, and I just got tired of renting. We said we were going to try to build us our own place. And it happened. So
now, in your most recent podcast, you're talking about the process of outfitting the new place with the right cookers. And since it's not your full-time place, you don't want to outfit it like you would Malcolm's Smokehouse, but you also don't want to hamstring yourself from a cooker perspective when you're out there for a week or two or whatever it is at a time. Have you decided on what a final setup, or at least an initial setup, might be on the porch?
So I brought with me a Traeger that I had at the shop, and Shell bought me for Father's Day one of the I call it the Captain America Weber kettle. And so I brought those with me. And then I realized that I needed a flat top. So my friends there at Townsend, they sell the Camp Chef products. And they had a new flat top. So I went and picked one of those up. So that's what I'm working with right now. It may not stay that way, but I've got everything I need to cook outside with. I mean, if I want to smoke something, I got my pellet grill. If I want to grill, I've already been grilling steaks and chicken and stuff on the Weber kettle, and I got a season in the flat top. I just got it today. So I'm going to get it going tomorrow, probably do some smash burgers tomorrow night.
I think one of the best inventions to griddle cooking, this is coming as a repeat for now perhaps 3 weeks in a row or 4 weeks in a row, so I apologize to the audience for hearing me say it again. But I think the best thing to happen in griddle cooking in recent memory, and this isn't a Camp Chef thing, it's a Weber thing, their pre-seasoned griddle top is absolutely amazing. I can't believe that it hasn't been knocked off by everybody yet. And as somebody who had the, I don't know what you call it, it's like a Slate portable cooker, like a camp, like I don't camp, so it's a waste on me. I'll use it to toast buns. But it had the pre-seasoned griddle top on it. And then I was given a full size, like 30-inch Weber Slate with the pre-seasoned. I'm telling you, it's a no-brainer. Pop it in, turn it on, burn it off, and that's it. There's no seasoning process that needs to be done, no hours on end, no wasting money on Crisco or whatever the hell you're using to burn in that griddle top, and it is about as bulletproof as it gets. Granted, I'm only, let's say, 4 months in at this point, but I've gone out of my way to leave the top up and let it rain on that thing. Like, try and do everything except like taking nails and gouging into it to try and create rust. But I've allowed it to try and create rust on its own naturally. And it's resistant as it comes. And then just quick clean off and away you go to cooking. It's unbelievable. And I think if I'm looking at trends in 2025, I would say by the end of the year, if not at the turn of the year, you're going to be seeing a lot more of these companies that have griddles come out with pre-seasoned griddle tops.
See, I love that idea. I got the first generation Weber flat top griddle, and it didn't have that.
Yep.
And I'm not seeing a whole lot of rust on it, but I agree 100%. There's a lot of care goes into those, because I've also have a Blackstone. I've got two Blackstones, one of the small ones and one of the 36 inchers. And I fight it because I don't use it all the time. I do keep it covered up, but rust still finds its way on it. And so I'm constantly, when I get ready to cook on it, I have to pretty much recondition it, get ready to go. But I love that idea. And you're exactly right. I mean, I remember, and we have one at home. Shell uses it to cook pancakes on, and on the countertop, but it comes pre-seasoned. And those things you can't. I mean, we've never scratched it. Now I've never tried to scratch it. That would be my concern with that stuff. Like, if you really got in there scraping or doing some hibachi style cooking where you're doing a lot of chopping, flipping with a metal spatula, is it gonna ding that nonstick pre-treated top, or is it pretty tough?
No, it's super tough. I've been merciless on it. I've gone down with the scraper. Like if I'm going to be cutting meat up, the double spatula. That looks weird when you do that. So it at this point, it appears it is very hardy. It's not chipping. I'm doing all the normal actions that I would do as I was cleaning the I have a Blackstone as well. So everything that I was doing on that, I've done on this. I've had no issues. And again, without the burn process, the thing that I would recommend, I think I might have mentioned it once, maybe 6 or 8 months ago when we were on the topic of griddles with somebody else. And you mentioned it on your most recent podcast. You can buy a top that goes silicone
It's like
top.
a silicone.
Yeah. Go to Amazon, search silicone griddle plate thing, and it just sits right on top of it. Prevents any rust from going on. So if you're going to continue to use Blackstone, you're not going to get anything treated, and you want to keep it in its best condition possible, you slam that right down. I did that on the Blackstone when I got it. I never had a flick of rust on that. Plus, heaven forbid you get a mouse or a rat or a nitrile or whatever the hell on the griddle top. It's all clean. Just lift it right off, and away you go. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. I don't know if I really. So OCD tells me that I probably have to get one for the Weber now that I talked about varmints, getting on the griddle top. But outside of that, not for the rust, but just to keep the weird things off the top. That was a good suggestion as well. So if you can get your hands on one, I would say they're hard to guard. It's probably worth every penny.
Yeah, I know this Camp Chef model that I have. That's one of their accessories they sell. So that's going to be the first thing that I order for it. I hadn't pulled the trigger on it yet, but that's going to be the next thing I purchase.
Malcolm, did you know today was Canada Day?
I did not.
Well, it is.
I guess that's a good thing, right?
Do you have
Day.
Do you have a special message of inspiration for our Canadian brethren?
Oh man, just cheers. I know they love their beer up there, so I'm down with it. So.
Beer and denim, nothing better than that.
Go Canucks.
3 days from now, we have 4th of July here. So while they're celebrating Canada's independence or creation or whatever the hell it is today, we're going to be celebrating our independence from England on Friday. What's on the menu at a Malcolm Reed Ozark location?
Yeah, so I picked up a couple pork butts when I went to town earlier. I've got some ribs with me too, so we're just going to be pretty standard barbecue. I think that we're going to do that on the 4th, and then the next day I'm going to do burgers and dogs. So we're going to kind of do 2 days. I mean, because it's when it's on a Friday, you got to celebrate all weekend, and so it's going to be a good time. Shell actually brought her nacho machine to Arkansas, so we'll be ready for some barbecued nachos.
Yeah,
maybe a cheese dog. Who knows?
Yeah, you got it all there. I mean, when you're bringing the cheese thing, like that's a sign of a party. Like if you're bringing that somewhere, good things are about to happen.
Oh, it's a party. Exactly, it's a party. I'm sure it's going to be a big time.
All right, so let's talk about hot dogs just for a second. Your favorite way to cook hot dogs?
My favorite way is probably on the smoker, but I like the big 1/4 pound, all beef colossal hot dogs, the Nathan's, and I do 275 on a smoker. I let them roll till it's about 35, 45 minutes, something like that. It gets the outside snappy, and it doesn't, it's not charred at all. It's not like a grilled dog. My second favorite way would be on the slow rolling them on a flat top. I love that too. I'm not a big steam dog guy, throw them in water or steam or anything like that. I like the skin to kind of to get that grilled, smoke flavor to it. I think it just makes a better bite.
Are you a fan of like almost slicing through them, opening them up, and then browning them on either side? Maybe add a little piece of American cheese and go from there.
So we grew up, my mom would make us hot dog sandwiches like that. Butterfly two dogs, flip them on one side, get them a little scorchy, flip them over, lay that American cheese right on top, throw it on some toast with a little mustard, a little ketchup maybe. That was a hot dog sandwich for me, and I'm all about it, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Now, from a burger standpoint, are you just get ground beef, or if you have the ability, would you prefer to be grind your own guy?
So, I mean, I like to know where it comes from. I mean, I'm an 80-20 guy. I like the fat content in it. Recently, I did do some brisket burgers that I ground my own, and then I added some bacon ends and pieces to it to give it a little extra fat, and those were really, really good, really good texture. But man, I bought at the store. I know you like them. I bought 2 boxes of the Bubba burgers, if you need something in a pinch, man, you just break them out, throw them on, and you're not wrong. They are fantastic. Yeah. So, I mean, for a frozen burger, to go from froze to ready to eat and not a lot of time, it's hard to beat those. They're good in a pinch. I'm not saying they're as good as the real ground and patted out, but they're good.
Brioche buns are the best buns for burgers, yes or no?
No. I'm a potato bun man.
Wow.
Have you tried the potato bun?
I have. I circle back to brioche for some reason. I don't know if it's a little bit of a sweetness. There was a video that I saw a couple weeks ago where Adam Richmond was just dog shitting all over brioche buns, and George Motes was backing him up. Like two of my most favorite individuals. Yeah. Felt like they were taking turns kicking me in the balls, saying how bad brioche buns are for burgers. But everybody's palate's a little bit different. I do like potato bun. In certain situations, I like Kaiser, although it's a little too stiff for me in most instances. But there's some burgers in the way they're built that Kaiser isn't too bad either.
My thing with the brioche is good, and it films. Like if you see me do a burger video, most of the time I'm going to use a brioche because it makes a really pretty picture. It looks good on film, but it's a lot of bread, and it's kind of like that Kaiser. It's just a lot of bread for a burger. So if you like a big, thick, half-pound burger and you got that much bread, I mean, it's a mammoth of a sandwich at that point. And so, a little goes a long way. I mean, I've been trying to watch my bread intake just because it's not good for me, and I'm more meat. But I like a good one anyway. There's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, I've been a huge burger fan. I mean, I'm on a huge smash burger run for, I don't know, maybe it's been the last 2 or 3 years. As I tell everybody, I was way late to the smash burger game, and then when I got that first Blackstone, might have been the second or third thing that we did, and I was a little like, I mean, how much better can it be? And then the first round, I was like, wow, I mean, I can't remember the last time I was so wrong about anything in my life. And then it's been smash burgers ever since. Girls would come home, girls would never ask for a burger when they would come back home from college, or if I met, what do you want for dinner tonight? It never was a burger. And now routinely, are we going to do smash burgers when I'm home, or can we have smash burgers? We got to get 8 pounds of meat because we got to do smash burgers for everybody that I'm inviting over. It was a game changer for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't think I've talked to you since we went to Chicago. I took your advice and went down the stairs. I went down the stairs by the river and found the burger joint that had the Curse of the Goat.
Billy Goat.
And that was a fantastic – the Billy Goat, yes, it was a Billy Goat Tavern or something like that. But, man, I mean, what a cool place, dude. And the burger, I mean, now you're not going to think it's not a fancy burger at all. This is like an old school diner style greasy spoon burger. They're cooking them all right there, limited toppings. That was one of the best bites that I had, just a good greasy burger. Man, it was fantastic.
Yeah, and the location is crazy. Like you're right under Michigan Avenue under a bridge, and then you just magically happen upon this burger oasis that's pretty much famous for Saturday Night Live.
Absolutely. And I was the cheeseburger, right?
Insane.
Had a cold pint and I had a burger, and man, that was all I needed.
Talking about cold pints, as the 4th is almost upon us, from a cocktail standpoint, what's your go-to these days?
Well, this week I've been sipping on a little Tito's with cran grape and club soda. So it's kind of a take on a transfusion, the golf course drink, a little bit. But it's like a summertime drink. I don't put too much of the cran grape, just enough to to lock the edge off, but real simple.
So is that like outside of the grape juice or cranberry juice or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Tito's. All right. There's something else I'm thinking of. My boss has gotten real into ranch water, but I always forget what liquor. Yeah. What's the liquor in that?
Usually tequila.
Oh, yeah. So it's tequila and soda?
Topo Chico, and tequila with lime.
You like that?
Really good, too. That's a great summertime. Yeah. If it's hot outside, those will go down really well.
Is that something you want to use a higher end tequila on? I'm no tequila expert like I would be like a bourbon or a gin guy, so I don't know.
Yeah. Man, I'm not a high end. I buy the ones I drink, so it's not. I would say I'm middle shelf. So, for tequila for me, I'll drink 1800. But let's see, what's the Don Julio? That's the one I me and Rochelle drank a lot of when we were in Mexico, and it's probably one of the. It's not the highest end, but it's an upper shelf tequila. But I'm not a snob when it comes to it, man. I just like
If it tastes good, it's good. That's always been
That's
my thing.
exactly right.
Right?
Yep.
Trust your
I'm
palate.
not scared to drink a little Jim Beam. I'll drink a little Jim Beam. It's one of the cheapest bourbons you can get.
I mean, it's so consistent, and I think bourbon became so popular. I almost feel like bourbon had a barbecue moment from back in like 2014 or 2010 or whenever it was like really popular, and all of a sudden people felt like they had to get this kind of charcoal and this kind of barbecue pit and use this kind of meat, and if you didn't, you had to keep it a secret, otherwise people were going to shit talk you right to your face. I feel like the bourbon era is now right there. I feel like people feel like they need to have a Pappy on the shelf and a Whistle Pig on the shelf and a Weller. I mean, whatever, all these super high dollar bourbons.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm like, well, I can get a huge handle of Jim Beam for about $28. It'll last me a long time. And by the way, it tastes pretty good, neat, and it tastes pretty good on the rocks. I don't feel bad if I'm mixing it into some kind of drink like ginger ale and Jim Beam for a highball. It all works pretty well.
Yeah, you know what I found? The Kirkland brand of liquors at Costco. They are for the money, you can't beat them, man. Yeah. And most of those are made by a couple of the bigger distilleries that are making stuff. Now, they don't say it on there, but it's really good. Their vodka's good, their tequila's good, their scotch is good, their bourbon's good. I've tried them all, and you get the handle right at Costco. I mean, so I don't knock anybody for what they drink or how they drink it. I catch a lot of flack over if I add something to bourbon, if I add Coke to bourbon, if I have why am I doing that? Why am I not just drinking it neat? And then these guys will say, well, you should have put a piece of ice in it, or you didn't spin it enough. I don't know.
You just count the number of ways you're doing it wrong, and there you go, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Craziness. From an upcoming content standpoint, anything we need to be on the lookout?
Man, I'm hoping to do some content while I'm out here in Arkansas, doing something a little different, maybe some grilled trout or smoked trout, some stuff like that. But what I've got, this is our little break, so I'll hit it hard when I get back here in, a couple weeks, and it'll take us. It's going to be football season, so it'll be time for tailgate recipes before we know it, and taking it on into fall. So
no doubt,
got a lot of cool stuff coming.
Yeah, we are into the second half of the year, if you can believe it. This is Malcom Reed, and he is joining me on remote, sounding better than ever. So, Malcom, appreciate you taking some time away from the break here, and we'll let you get back to that, and we'll see you in August.
See you in August, Greg. Hope everybody has a wonderful 4th of July. Y'all stay safe out there.
All right, there he is, Malcom Reed right there. Joining us from Arkansas, I think. I don't want to go too far on a ledge here, but I think that might be the first time we've ever done an interview from Arkansas. Granted, Malcom, we know Malcom, but that might be the first time we've had a interview in Arkansas. So I'll have to double check that and get back to you in a week or so, but quickly crisscrossing all the 50 states from a guest standpoint. And Malcom spending some time with us here as he is on a 2-week break as they set up that new place over on, what did he say, the White River? Was it the White River? Mountain River? I don't know, but it sounded like it was in a remote location, which means there's fishing. There's got to be other stuff too, I would imagine. Hunting, yeah. That should be the content. Malcom is hunting what will be for dinner tomorrow night. All right, we thank Malcom for that. Hey, what do we love about ceramic cookers? Well, considering your humble host used his Primo all last weekend, I would say everything. I love everything about it. I love the Primo and its oval shape. I love the extra large size that I have. I love that it has a rotisserie accessory if you would like it. And it's got the rotisserie baskets. You open up the chamber, you can just pack it full of chicken wings or thin strip beef cuts or chicken cubes, vegetables if you want. Maybe you want to spit roast some broccoli or peppers and broccoli. You name it. Bunch of scrimps, fish fillets. You like fish fillets? You can pack that thing full of fish fillets. And then now you have a spit roast. Take out the conductor plates, the deflector plates. Take off the grill grate. Hook up the rotisserie accessory, flip it on, and away you go. You can even close the lid, maximize the heat. Oh, thing is so great. And it stays hot for a long time. And contrary to popular belief, once you learn how to operate the draft system, both top and bottom vents in conjunction with each other, being able to reach and then maintain your desired temperature is very easy. And remember, once those ceramics get hot, that thing stays hot for a long time. We did some chicken breasts the other night. Took very little time. Shut it all down. I think I ended up achieving around 425 degrees by the time it was all said and done. Cooking somewhere between that threshold, putting them on at 375, ending up around 425 by my choice. With deflector plates in, perfect. Super juicy, easy to use. There's nothing I don't love about it. And if I needed to just quickly fire it back open or fire it back up an hour or two later, I could do that. Like, it's hot enough. It's ready to roll. Anyway, only sold through dealers, primogrill.com. Find a dealer near you. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And we'll be back right after this. Stick around.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
And we thank Malcolm Reed for joining us last segment. How to BBQ Right. His website. Also, you can find him at killerhogs.com, HOGS. And on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at the handle How to BBQ Right. So if you are new to the show right here this evening, you are new to live fire cooking, and this is literally day one, minute one of your live fire life, Malcolm Reed is somebody you're going to want to subscribe to and pay attention to as you start to learn your barbecue culinary skills, as you start to hone them and then start taking your journey along the live fire trail. Others you might want to look up. Steven Reichlin. There you go. Two of the biggest stars in live fire. Also, you can find them right here on this show as well. Malcolm Monthly, Steven Reichlin Quarterly. 1.85 million YouTube subscribers for Malcolm. So continuing to gain about 1.8, let's call it 50,000 subscribers a month. If I'm keeping track of that right, 1,850,000. Yeah. So it appears he might be in line for a 2 million crest here, by end of fall. But who knows? Maybe it slows down the closer you get to that next huge mark, that being 2 million. We'll have to see. In any event, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to him. Help him get closer to 2 million. Why not? Email from Bill Early. Greg, love the show, but only made it through about 2 minutes of Mike Grunwald. Plant-based meat, global warming, hoax. What an idiot Regards, Bill. Bill! Remember what we talked about, Bill, with Mike as we started to round out that segment as he was taking part in some kind of a debate a number of months ago. So he was put in the position to argue against traditional ranching, and then his debate opponent was arguing for the benefits of traditional ranching. And then he was just explaining his side, but basically talking about how at this day and age, as we sit here on a July 1st of 2025, cresting into the tail end of the year, that we have largely, because not everybody, look at me, get out the broad stroke paintbrush, here I go, painting with the ever broad strokes. But not everybody, but by and large, it appears to me that as a society in general, we have found a way to not listen to other people's ideas, not listen to other people's points of view, not be able to accept, hey, I just disagree with you on this. But without taking it as far as Bill did with the "what an idiot" remark, but just saying, hey, I appreciate what Mike is doing. I appreciate the hard work he's putting in on the topic that he's researching. I don't necessarily agree with that, but appreciate somebody else showing me another side of the coin. God bless. Regards, Bill. It doesn't have to be "what an idiot." We don't have to name call. We could practice trying to relearn how to be able to be free thinkers of our own, form our own opinions, and then not rely on other people to validate those opinions. We can just have them ourselves. I have certain political views. I have certain personal views that if I express them on this show, like, why bother? I'm not here for that kind of controversy. I'm not here for that kind of back and forth, because I know what kind of society that we're living in these days. I have no interest in alienating any portion of my audience, because I know that at this stage, and it shows no signs of improvement, that if I alienate or I have a consenting or a dissenting view from what you think, I could lose a fan. I want that. I want all the fans. So I don't talk about everything. I could talk about everything, but I don't talk about everything because there is no win in this show. I don't win if I try and pound into you, here's what I think. You should think like this too, and if you don't, you're an idiot. Who needs it? I would much rather have you not like me because I don't think we should use the term pitmaster, not because I sit on this side of the aisle or that side of the aisle, and now you have a whole list of things that you think now apply to me if I'm a Republican or if I'm a Democrat or if I'm an independent or if I'm the Green Party. Is that a thing still? Green Party? But if I'm A, B, C, or D, we are now programmed to believe if you are this person, this is what you think. If you are this person, there's no sharing. You can't be both. You can't be more conservative on one view and more liberal on a different view. It all has to be the same. So I'm not about to put myself in a spot where I'm alienating an audience. There's just no win for me there because it's not that kind of a show. It's that kind of a show when it relates to live fire cooking. That's when we can go at it. That's when we can decide if we don't like each other anymore. But we're not going to do it on the other stuff because then I know for sure you're not. Maybe if we're arguing about Pitmaster or Chef or what have you, or if you should wash your chicken or not, I think we're still probably going to be friends. You might not come over to my house if I tell you if I don't like washing my chicken, or I give you the reasons why you should not wash your chicken. Maybe you don't come over and eat my chicken. That's fine. But we're probably still friends. But the other stuff is not, so I don't want to do that. Like Real Meat Stick says, can't make everyone like you, and it's not a cult. Truth. So, thanks for writing in, Bill. I hope that you maybe go back and listen to what Mike was talking about. And understand this, Mike is a journalist. He's not paid by a plant-based meat lobby at all. He's not paid by anti-plant-based lobby. He's a guy that has an interest in climate and goes out and does journalistic work and then brings his findings back. The one thing I can say about Mike, he's not making this stuff up. Like, he's going out and putting in the real legwork, doing the real journalistic work that real journalists do in order to then provide a point of view that they write about. Like, that's the other part of the job. Do the research and then you write about it. You can disagree. But certainly, he says that what he is talking about at this point is more or less undeniable. The amount of lamb we're accumulating in order to farm, in order to feed. Depending on who you believe, the population is either shrinking or growing, and we need to either have less kids or more kids. Again, that's up to you to figure out. But where the consumption of land lies, that's not like, you can see that happening. That's not a hoax. Am I giving up meat? No. Good for Mike for giving up meat, but not all meat. I'm giving up zero meat. I'm 50 years old. I understand that my practice might incur pain for future generations. And, sorry. But meat is delicious, and I'm going to eat it. It was put on this earth for me to eat, so I will do it. Till I decide maybe I don't want to do that anymore, and guess what? I won't do it. Anyway, thanks for writing in, Bill. Also, email from John in Texas. By the way, update on poll question of the week. Do you like the term Pitmaster? 59% of you are saying yes. Ooh, we're getting closer to 50-50. Real Meat Stick is saying, I am a Pitmaster because others who do not know me personally or have any affiliation with me have said so. It's an independent, subjective term. Others have referred to me as from decades, is a term others have referred to me as far as from decades. Maybe you mistyped there, Real Meat Stick, but that's all right. I think I know what you're trying to say. Other people have referred to you as that term for decades because of your decades of experience. Yeah, I get it. I mean, by that definition, or by your explanation, I am also Pitmaster. Everybody calls me the Grill Master. Everybody calls me the Pitmaster. I just have accumulated skills on a variety of different cookers, and I can cook very good end product. Am I a competitor? No. I'm not even pretending to be a competitor and have no interest in competing. Am I a Pitmaster in my backyard? I guess, by Real Meat Stick's terminology, I absolutely am. People who do not know me, who have showed up and have eaten my cooking, I'm a Pitmaster. Believe it. I'm the best Pitmaster, according to some of them. Email from John in Texas. Greg, have you noticed how much more fit Jess Pryles is in recent months? She's even posting pics in the gym. Just some observations on my end. Love the show. Regards, John. John, no, have not. Remember when we were talking earlier about maybe we don't share everything because we don't want people to judge us? John, this is one of those things. If you're noticing a trend on your end, maybe keep it to yourself. maybe wait on that a little bit longer and see if it continues to pan out in that regard. Maybe a lot of things. Maybe don't send me that email. Maybe don't. I haven't noticed anything, but you know me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Me and social media are like ships passing in the night. If you follow me on Instagram, you are probably like, why do I even follow this guy? He posts right around never. Stories, yes, I'll repost stories. I'll share stories from, I'm always supporting the sponsors. But in my feed, because the feed counts the most, I don't even remember the last thing I have in my feed. That's how long it's been. Could be going on 2 months. Which means I'm also not on it that often. So I'm definitely not seeing the same things that you're seeing, John. And your algorithm might be different than mine. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm not seeing the same things that you're seeing. But thanks for writing in. By the way, you will have a Jess Pryles sighting in about 2 weeks' time from now. Third Tuesday brings her third January. Yeah, it will bring her third appearance. So she'll be July, and then August, September. She'll be in October. Will be her last one of 2025. Real Meat Stick is asking, how do you differentiate a grill master from a pitmaster? Are you asking a question, or are you looking for an answer? Like what my take is? To me, grill master is a guy dealing with more direct heat. Pitmaster is somebody that's dealing with more indirect heat. Grill master not necessarily dealing with smoke. Pitmaster, I think there has to be some kind of smoke element in what you're cooking if you're going to be pitmaster, assuming we're in that barbecue mindset. And then I'm not going to delineate between, if you're using gas or if you're using a pellet cooker, you're not a pitmaster or a grill master. And you're cooking at temperature, and now you have to cook the food that you're given or the food that you've chosen to cook. And how good is it going to be? That's really going to be more of where the line judges for me. Like, how good is the end product as we sit down to eat it? All right, thanks for those emails, everybody. If you want to write in, go ahead, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. If you missed the Mike Grunwald segment and you like hearing about ranching and how we're eating the earth, the planet, eating the earth, problems with the food chain and possible solutions. Bill was not a fan, but if you missed it, I would recommend that you go listen to it on your own. See if you are a fan. Go to the website, thebbqcentralshow.com, go to past episodes, and then just scroll down to, I think it says, We Are Eating the Earth. That's the Mike Grunwald episode. You'll see it in the show notes. Just click on it. All right, we'll wrap the first hour right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. Just trying to gauge my time here. Yeah, all right, we'll just end it here. All right, we are getting ready to head towards the second hour, where you will find a interview with Sam the Cooking Guy. This monthly segment is 14 past the second hour. If you're catching this in podcast, this is where hour 1 will end. And then you will get hour number 2 on Thursday. But we'll talk about that here in just a moment as we lead into that Sam the Cooking Guy segment. You are listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.